Forest of Hope is an organization that I started to help orphaned and vulnerable kids in Africa to get an education. It's really simple. We plant trees, they grow, we harvest them, and use the money to pay for education. I can plant $10 worth of trees and pay for the entire education of one orphan or vulnerable child plus their first year of university. It's a really cool, simple project, and we've planted thousands of trees in Africa. On this trip to Uganda, I met some really interesting people who are interested in knife making, and I thought this would be something cool for the knife community on YouTube to see. It was really exciting to me, and I hope it is to you too.
Tell the story about Africa. That was amazing.
Which one was that?
This year, when you were recently Africa, knife making.
Oh,
cool
this is so unbelievable, and I'm glad I can share it here. I went to Africa this year, for one of my trips, and so I was in Uganda, and one of my employees who's working over there, she's a soil scientist, she said, "Hey, I want you to meet this university professor I know." So I sat down with him to have a meal, or to drink coffee, and he was telling me that he's helping these orphan boys in Uganda, and he's got like 5 or 6 of these young, they're 16, 15, 17-year-old orphan guys. And he said that he's been wanting to find a way to teach them a trade. And I'm not kidding, we're drinking coffee, and he says to me, I was thinking that if somehow I could teach these young guys to make knives, that somehow would be a good thing. And I just was stunned. And he said, what I would like to do is somehow find out how you make knives. And I'd like to find someone who could help us. And he said, I've just been thinking about that. And he told me that he had even prayed and said, "God, help me find somebody who makes knives." And I just started laughing. I was like, well, I am a knife maker. And he couldn't believe it. So what happened is, I told him, I said, I want to come back in 2013. I said, I'd like to bring some friends who are knife makers, who forge and things, because I think if we help them to forge knives and charcoal, would probably be best. And I said, when I come back, I said, I'll fund it, I'll do everything, because I said, what if we get these young guys making really nice knives, and that's what they do instead of, bagging or, whatever, they're knife makers. So anyway, I was so excited, and when I came home, I kept, just thinking, hey, what am I going to do about this? And he sent me an email, and he said they're watching all of my YouTube videos, and they're following the Sugar Creek Forge build along.
That's awesome.
They showed me, like, they had these knives that they were making, and they're just real, kind of crude, and they're so, they're like so proud of them and stuff like that. So what I think is going to be neat is, I'd like to see in 2013, I'd like to go over there and help them, maybe launch a little, Ugandan bushcraft,
I told him, Tim called me soon after he came back from Africa. I told him about it. Yeah. I was like, dude, I'm gonna be the first one who buys one of the knives. It's how cool is that?
Yeah. So in April of 2013, just a week or two ago, I was able to take a team to Kampala, Uganda, and meet the actual orphans that Dr. Ten was helping. And guys like Sam here, who's become quite the knife maker, and William. William is 14 years old, lost both of his parents, and just lives in poverty. And Milton, who has a terminal disease but wants to work. They had constructed this kind of traditional Ugandan-style forge with a bag for a bellows, and had actually started making knives. So it was fun to talk to them a little bit about what we're going to do when I return with a team of knife makers. We'll make a little smaller firebox, but we'll make it higher, and then we'll need more air. Yeah, because we have to get this red hot, because you can't pound it when it's cold. So what I will teach you is the right temperatures for forging, because then it's easier. So we take, in this hardy hole, we put a tool in here that has a sharp part. We put it in here, then we heat this in the fire, and then we put it on this point like this, and we take a hammer, and it will cut it.
Okay.
That's called hot cutting. Then now we have a curved piece. So the first thing we'll do is pound it so it's a straight bar.
Okay.
So it goes from this to a straight bar, round, and then flat. So we hammer it flat. Then instead of grinding, we will hammer the bevels, you know, because the knife looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of grinding,
Yeah.
we'll heat it and we'll pound that into the steel. So that's, it's not hard, but someone has to show you who knows how. So, and then what I'm thinking is we'll do, you know, a charcoal forge,
Yeah.
and we'll try to get a little better blower. Because that's how we can go to the whole world, because people they'll be amazed if we say, hey, we are truly Ugandans, we love our country, we're preserving something eyes have not seen maybe for 400 years. We're doing it here. You know, I don't know if my Asian is too big. But also what I would like to do is, you know, I'm going to come back, bring some knife makers with me so that we have more than one person to give instructions.
Okay.
And then we want to practice getting good at making the knives. Because what I'd like to do also is build a brand. And what I want to do, I want to start with traditional, very traditional.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about rusting and things like that. It's no problem.
Yeah.
They've only been using stainless steel for knives for about 50 years. So for hundreds of years, everyone was happy with a good knife. That you just have to clean it. You know, take care of it, it won't rust. So, but what I want to do is we can make some world-class bush knives, because our market, what I would like to do is make knives here in Uganda that the local people buy, but I'd also like to make a line that we sell, and because I sell knives in the US, I make knives and then people buy them. You know, we want the guys to use their creativity, but we also want to decide, here's some models of knives we make. They're very consistent, and I'll bring a stamp that we can hit when the metal's hot, and it will make like this logo, like this, imprint in the knife with our brand. And then what will happen is we can sell those knives in the US and in Europe, and then we take the money and But I think that can't be our main strategy. I really respect that, you know, the professor's vision was we have to make knives for Uganda because that's real. You know, we have to do something local first and then gain the muscle, you know, to. So anyway, I don't want to talk too much, but that's, you know, that's what I'd like to say.
Alright. Hi YouTubers, we are grateful that Tim was down here in Uganda. We thank you for using his channel, and we thank you for the designs and how you've been, they are helpful to us, and we hope that sometime we'll be down here in Uganda.
So I really hope you enjoy this cool project, this video about what's happening in Uganda. It makes me laugh that guys are crowded around a computer in an internet cafe watching Sugar Creek Forge build along and watching other knife makers from YouTube to learn to make knives. How cool too that these young guys who really are struggling to come up out of poverty would be interested in making knives as a living, and to work hard with their own hands and do something very, very cool. My plans are to go back to Uganda and specifically to spend a week with these guys. I'm not going to be planting trees or doing anything else like that, but spend a week with them doing like a knife workshop, and I want to drag some of my knife making friends along with me to help these guys really learn to make some great knives. So anyway, hope that gave you a kind of a window into something cool. Everyone have a great weekend. I'm sorry I haven't been on YouTube hardly at all in the last 3 weeks or month. And today's Saturday here in Sugar Creek, Ohio. On Sunday, I leave for Brazil and will be gone for a week. And I'm doing that for my work, for business coaching. Going down there to coach some leaders from a big pharmaceutical company. So anyway, hi to all my friends. Thanks to all my subscribers for your kind comments. And hope everyone's doing great. Have a great weekend.